Welcome to the Intuitive Rising podcast. I'm your host, Amy Brooks. This is a podcast that invites you to remember who you are, return to yourself, and rise into your highest and best soul self. Every week, I will be sharing inspiring conversations about topics that hold keys to your awakening. My mission as an international evidential psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, and intuitive mentor is to help you rise into who you were born to be. Enjoy the show. Hey. Welcome back to another episode of the Intuitive Rising podcast. I am your host, Amy Brooks, who forgot to put Do Not Disturb on when I started this recording, but there we go. We're here, and I was not planning to record a podcast right in this very instant. I came down to my office. It's late afternoon. I came in to send off some people's readings to them, some recordings, and I heard in my mind, please record a little channeled message to be put out as a short and sweet podcast episode. So I am listening, as I always do. I always follow the call, and here we are. It's the first warm day that we've had, I swear, this calendar year. It has been raining cats and dogs. It has been unusually cold. I just read an article the other day saying this is the coldest record, the coldest May rather, on record in Nova Scotia ever, like since the record has begun. So that's kind of incredible. I know that Nova Scotia is not the only place that's experiencing colder than usual temps at this time of year. It seems like most of the eastern seaboard, especially kind of, north of maybe north of the Carolinas, maybe. I don't know. How's it hanging over there? East coast of the US. I know in Canada we're cold here. We're cold throughout kind of eastern Canada and out through the central. So, but I didn't come on to talk about weather. But we're Canadian. I'm a Canadian, right? You may be a Canadian. We talk about the weather sometimes. Okay, so I do have a deck of cards in my hand. It is When Women Had Wings, which my absolutely amazing podcast listener, Heidi, shout out to Heidi, as well as client and now friend, sent me a care package a few weeks back, and this tarot deck was in it, and it absolutely is incredible and beautiful, and the art is stunning, and it's my new favorite deck, that's for sure. So I do have it in my hand because I probably will pull an accompanying card to the channeled message that I'm bringing through. Now, this short and sweet kind of energetic check-in and guidance will not replace the usual monthly guidance podcast episode that I put out. That will be coming out the following Tuesday, so very early June. Within the first couple of days of June, I'll put that out, but this will go out before that. Also, let's talk about a little housekeeping. Do we have housekeeping? Yes. Number one, I am planning a new offering. It is going to be here. I'm going to announce it here, so you heard it here. It was kind of brought to my attention by the spirit world, just kind of dropped into my intuition earlier today. Another example of me just going, okay, I'm listening. I will do that. I will be offering for the first time a kind of 3-month check-in. Normally what I'll do is I just offer the yearly guidance reading. So every late fall, put in an offering for a whole year of guidance, right? So you would purchase in like October, November for your January to receive in like late December, and then you get a whole year of guidance broken down in 12 videos. That is something that I will still offer moving towards the end of the year. However, I did hear from the spirit world that some of us need a little mini check-in like right now. So I'm going to do something a little seasonal. I don't know if I'm going to continue this for every season, but I'm definitely going to offer a summer energetic reading. Okay, so personalized. I will pull cards. There's 3 months in the summer. I will pull 3 cards as well as channel the overall lesson of that season of life for you. And then I will bring in specific channeled psychic guidance for you as well on top of what comes up with the card. Okay, so if that sounds interesting to you, if you want a little summer check-in, check out my social media, at the Intuitive Rising, my website at theintuitiverising.com as well to purchase. Okay, that should be available when this podcast episode goes live. So there's going to be limited spots. If you're interested in it, pause this episode and go hop on over and purchase. Low cost as well, just to make it accessible, which is what I'm hearing as well. So with all that being said, that's one point of homework, or housework rather. I'm trying to think, there was something else I wanted to mention, but it escapes my mind in this moment. So that's okay. We're going to let it kind of flow. If it's important to be said today in this episode, it will come back. One thing I am excited about, seeing as I just saw my fox tattoo here on my arm. I am getting another tattoo, and that is happening on June 10th, and I am so excited. I'll leave it up for a surprise. It definitely connects into my work a little bit. And there's like a spirit sign in it and connected to it. I'm really, really excited about it. And a podcast listener, as well as client turned friend, whom I've never met in person just yet, is actually going to meet me. She doesn't live too far away from me. She's going to meet me here, and we're going to go to lunch, and then she's going to come with me while I get my tattoo. So that's super exciting as well. I cannot wait for all of that. Shout out to Amber. Okay, so let's get started. Before I do the accompanying card to go with this channel guidance, something that's been showing up very often for me in client readings and also just kind of personally is this very specific message around communication. Now we've just entering into Gemini season, right? And Gemini season is an air sign, and air is all about, the element of air is all about communication, right? So there's going to be a huge focus just in general for our collective around communication in this time period. That may be part of the message, right? What's coming in very, very, very clearly as something to be aware of and mindful of is like sharing with the right people, right? Knowing your crowd, being able to read the room, so to speak. So there's a lot of that airy energy kind of coming in. It's mental focus in the sense that we're receiving ideas and we're excited by them, and then that excitability kind of transmits or kind of it's connected through. So we're kind of connecting up here in the crown, downloads, excitability, ideas, we're getting jazzed up, and then we're encouraged to kind of bring it down into the throat and share. Interestingly enough, I recently did a card reading for somebody, and the Magician popped out of this deck, okay? And in the guidebook, it said, and I loved it, it said that the Magician was the embodiment of Abracadabra, of the word Abracadabra, of bringing the unseen into the seen. Right? And so that's the kind of vibe that I'm picking up around this message as well. So there's kind of, the unseen, we're downloading the unseen, right? But in terms of like our dreams, our ideas, what drives us up, what makes us excited, and then we are encouraged to share it. So this is a month when you are encouraged to talk about what it is that you're learning, that you're interested in, what excites you, what keeps you up at night. It's kind of like a deep dive this month as well. But we can't just talk about it. We actually also have to put some things into motion. So it's about kind of the embodiment of the magician, right, who owns their magic, but also, works with that with intention. So I'm not just going to gab about it, I'm going to do something about it too. So that's the first piece of this guidance that comes in for you. And then I'm getting like, I hear a hefty dose. There needs to be a hefty dose of a reality check as well. In the sense, stay with me, okay? Because I know we're talking about the unseen, we're talking about the magician energy. So what do we mean by this hefty dose of reality? Has to do with reading the room and knowing who's going to be perceptive and receptive to your excitement, to your ideas, to, picking up what you're putting down, right? Because as empaths, as highly sensitive people, which most of you very likely will be if you're listening to this podcast, you absorb energy, okay? And so I'm sure we've all been there where we've been really excited about something. And let me share this with you and let me talk about this. And what do you think about this? And you kind of receive an energetic door slam, right? So it's like, okay, interesting, or has this ever happened to you? This is the absolute worst. I can't think of anything worse when it comes to this topic. Being really excited about something and sharing with a group of people, and then somebody just kind of either interrupting and talking about something totally different, and then everybody's focus shifts to what they're saying, as if you didn't say anything at all. Or there's just like awkward silence for a minute, and then somebody's like, so anyways, that's happened to me probably more than once, but like one time in particular probably was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I can still remember it in my mind. It kind of, there was this almost like feeling, it was shame. It was embarrassment for sure, but almost like shame a little bit. It felt very icky in my energy field. Did not feel good. That's a really, really good example of maybe not reading the room, right? Maybe not knowing my people, right? In hindsight, I can see these people, acquaintances, not my people, right? So then that's not a judgy thing at all. It's like we can meet in the middle, right? I can meet you where you're at, and you can meet me where I'm at, and we can have conversations about all kinds of cool things. But when it comes to certain things, I know you're just maybe not going to get or be interested in the way that I am. And how this connects to being an empath or highly sensitive person is that because you are an energy reader and absorber, and you mirror and all of those things, you can be like very high vibe and very excited about something, and somebody else can give you that kind of energetic door slam. And what happens to your energy? Yeah, you kind of collapse into yourself of like, oh, maybe you feel shame like I did in that moment. That's the kind of emotion that immediately pops in my head that I would have felt. But it shuts you down. It shuts you down. And then you've kind of lost that magnetism, right, around a thing that was really jiving you up. So this is the thing that the spirit world wanted me to talk about right now, because I feel like so many of you are going to relate to this, whether in the past, but also currently. They don't want you to receive that energetic. When I say they, I mean spirit. The spirit world does not want you to receive that energetic door slam about the things that you are picking up on and tuning into in the collective. Because the things that you're tuning into are like right place, right time energy. So it's like the universe is sending out a lot of SOSs, right? Different pathways, like, okay, this person, like, get excited about this and do this and do this. And it could seem very minor, and it could seem like silly, right? Or maybe not, but it doesn't matter, because everything that we're doing, especially when it raises our vibe, it connects us to ourselves. It connects us to our passions, connects us to our soul path, and then in turn, the people that will influence us and the people that we will influence. And that's what we want. We want that push and pull. We want all of that kind of magnetic energy coming forth. So that is something the spirit world is like, please talk about, because I don't want you to shut yourselves down from something that feels very exciting and lights you up inside, especially right now in this month, in this Gemini season. All right? Okay. Those of you that have heavy Gemini placements, Gemini Sun, Moon rising, maybe Gemini Mercury, Gemini Midheaven, right, which would be your 10th house, which is my 10th house. Those placements in particular come up as people that need to pay extra attention to that message as well, okay? All right, now with that, I did say I was going to make it short and sweet. So with that message, I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to ask the spirit world to kind of be additional guidance to what we've already talked about, or just in general what we need to know. But I want it to kind of be in partnership with that message. That's the intention, as I give it a good old shuffle, and we will see what comes in. This guy, I think. Ooh, we've got a Wands card, which is action. I am going to look at this guidebook because I really like this guidebook and the messages that are in it. So I want to give you the messages because, like, directly from this source, because I find this deck and this guidebook activating. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Wands wants to come across as in partnership with that message, okay, about reading the room and communicating to the right people, to the people that will be receptive to you, kind of not trying to, teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak. Like somebody that is, you just know, they're just not going to get what you're saying, or they're not going to be interested, or they're going to think it's silly, or they're going to dismiss it. You just kind of know that that's probably how it's going to be. So maybe just kind of save the energy and save it for a person that you feel will be more perceptive. And maybe you don't have anybody in your inner circle in person. And so you just feel like you have nobody to talk to. Please know there's always people that are interested in what you're interested in, what you're picking up on. If you ever want to send me a message and DM me, be like, hey, I do feel like I'm going to be creating a community more so than I already have. I do have a little community, okay, and it's over on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook and you would like to join, you will find the information in the body of this email. So it's mostly people that have that in that group. It's a private community, I should say. In that private community are people that listen to my podcast and found it through the link that's in the podcast, or they were personally invited by me. But check it out, because there will be people that are interested in what you are interested in, and will be able to kind of get excited about what you're interested in as well, okay? And not kind of slam that energetic door in your face. Okay, Knight of Wands, what do we got? A hero displaying humor, enthusiasm, and charm. Okay, definitely picking up on the enthusiasm for sure in this message. Courage, charm, energy, passion, inspired action. All the things we're talking about. Mwah. Thank you so much, Spirit World, for this. This goes perfectly to what we've already been talking about. Feeling charged up and full of life. Yes, I'm feeling that even in this moment. Maybe it's the sun. Probably is. A great time to travel, to relocate, to try something new, getting things done with a sense of fun and adventure. And how do we do that? If we're picking up on new information, things that is exciting, we are bringing the unseen into the scene. There's obviously going to be kind of a uncharted territory, or uncharted territory to that, right? And so we need the support of our community, right? We need to share. We need to kind of lean on our loved ones, our messengers, our angels, our guides, and all those things for that energetic kind of cheerleader support. And we need to be enthusiastic. And we can stay enthusiastic if we are sharing that message with the right people, right? And we are taking inspired action. We don't want this excitability that's kind of all around us right now to go to waste. We don't want to get all jacked up and we have all these things. It's kind of like all talk and no action. That could be some of us in this Gemini season. And we're letting these kind of little magical nuggets go to waste. So the guidance is, don't let those magical nuggets go to waste this month. Just make sure that you're sharing with the right crowd, and that you take some sort of inspired action. The Knight is very inspired. The Knight is like saving the day, right? And taking action. So be your own hero this Gemini season. All right, with that, I am out of here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back here next month. Enjoy the warmth, hopefully. Hopefully. If you have enjoyed this episode, please consider hopping on over to wherever you listen to your podcast and giving it a 5-star review. Thank you so much in advance. If you'd like to keep in touch, please head over to my website, theintuitiverising.com, to keep up with all the things that I have been doing. I also have a private Facebook community for people just like you. It's called the Intuitive Rising Community. All you gotta do is request to join, and I will let you in. Keep rising.